What's poppin', Realest one? VampHourzz, act accordingly. Doing it a little bit different. Instead of going live, I figured I would just record and premiere it. So if you are listening, I appreciate it. Just hit that like. Walk with me, walk with me. So I'm at the point where I try my best to avoid certain things on the internet, like celebrity gossip. Like, I used to like tap into that side of things, but at this point it's like so repetitive. But I ain't hating on nobody who, it's certain things that you just feel the interest to speak on because some of the shit you see involving these celebrities be wild, right? But you try to avoid it for the most part if you're me, but it's like smack dead in your damn face. Like it comes down to either not talking about it or talking about it because you can't avoid it, right? It's a simple decision. So on a platform like this, to be specific, uh, YouTube, it ain't no different, especially as small as it is. Well, compared to the rest of the internet anyway, because YouTube is actually kind of big. It's small but big. Once you tap that YouTube logo on your phone, and the app opens up, you can click not interested. You can click don't recommend, and you can unsubscribe from any and all content you want no parts of that doesn't resonate with you. Even doing so, you still can't control the algorithm though. It is what it is. Even on here, it's either watch and don't talk about it or don't watch and don't talk about it. This shit is kind of like a virtual neighborhood. You're gonna learn the goings on even without looking for the info. So when this situation, this this specific situation took place, it was definitely the talk of the neighborhood, huh? Especially because who it involved and what had happened. A whole week don't went by, and folk like are still harping on this thing. And I understand why. I guess when you got one of the popular YouTubers, I mean, if you call hollering disrespecting to the screen, disrespecting anybody and everybody, and then inviting other fully grown men to your private area popular, then I guess that makes him popular. I once seen this same fool pop up on a panel that had nothing to do with him just to start fire with someone who was more popular than him, who was minding their business. Just because he knew it would give folk a reason, another reason anyway, to talk about him. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. But I'm talking about this dude named China Brim. Some of y'all might have heard of him. You know, um, I wouldn't be startled if you did. So from what I remember, homie started out trying to be like on a positive tip years ago, but supposedly ended up going down the same path as all these other fools do. Everybody starts out like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm standing for this, I'm representing this. But then when they see getting into that lane of disrespecting any motherfucker in sight, and that's what makes your channel pop. Oh, it's over. It's over when they find that out. It's over, right? What they call the atmosphere of where the lowest shenanigans and the harshest disrespect takes place. They call it the dirty sector. You got the beef sector. It really don't matter. There's a few names out there. One of them is Digital Hollywood or some shit like that. But let's get into it, man. I first seen this controversial clip involving this dude on Instagram. When I first seen it, the narrative was that it was an actual robbery happening. It was a real life robbery taking place. But then over here on YouTube, the narrative was that it was a possible skit. hmm So a controversial clip, whether skit, joke, or real life, everybody had their theory on it. Everybody had their own take on it. And on the real, you could make an argument for every one of those theories, man. So in the clip, it went like this. From what I remember, I've seen it a few times. It was old boy being confronted by some random fool, all black, from the feet up, masked up, with that thing on it, right? And it starts off by him. I think he took his shoes, or maybe he had already took his shoes before the recording started. Um, but the robber's like, "I'm gonna wear your shit to the club tonight, boy." And old boy, he's still like talking his little shit. He calls the robber a bum or something like that. And then he basically, it's like, oh, you want to talk shit? Like, it's like it's like he was gonna let him walk away, and then it was like he made him take off his necklace, his chain, his damn hat, his glasses. He had him throw the glasses in the hat like it was an offering plate at the church, man. Then basically it was skedaddle, get the fuck up out of here. He said something like that, like go live now. Like, you talk so damn much enough as it is, go run tell that. Report how I just took off with all your shit. And you see him walking up the block like it was the ending of a movie or something. Clip goes off. And after that, all the narratives and different perspectives start. So let's check them off. Number one, it was a legitimate robbery. From my understanding, old boy had spoke out about it, which I didn't really watch, but I seen just a glimpse enough to know he said something like it was a cookout, a get together. After all, it was around the 4th of July or on the 4th of July, which just passed. So, that makes sense. I think he said he was in a particular part of town. He was in a different part of town than he usually would be in, something like that. So maybe he wasn't necessarily a regular around that part of town. I mean, if you get a fool with that thing on him, that piece, aka gun for street terminology, then if you get a fool with a gun running up on you to end up in a situation like that when you're supposed to be at a cookout or a get together, it's a chance you might not be a regular around those parts. If you're supposed to go somewhere where you chilling and somebody feel like they can run up on you like that, then maybe it's somewhere where you're not really even wanted at, for real, for real. Somewhere where maybe he thought he had respect at or whatever. And if that is the case, then he should have known better, because a lot of people watch this YouTube shit, fam. But this is all just my take on it, right? So based on the content he gets into, always just crossing lines, ain't no limit. Ain't no limit to how low, how often, anytime he goes live, you expect somebody carrying that their self like that with the mindset of, I can't be touched. Ain't nobody gonna do a motherfucking thing to me. That's how he carries it. When you talking like that, when you have that type of energy to motherfuckers you ain't never met, you don't know nothing about, it can leave that possibility open for somebody to want to do something to your ass. And I ain't wishing nothing. You don't know who these fools is, man. You don't know what their background is, homie. Understand? Everybody got somebody that love them. Everybody got somebody that's going to ride for them. Everybody got somebody that's going to protect them when it's time. So I guess if you're a big bad gangster yourself, you ain't worried about none of that, right? That's how that go? I guess, I suppose. But I say all that to say it's damn possible it could have been legitimate. It could have certainly been a real life-threatening predicament. Now, theory number 2, it was a setup. It was a skit. This ain't the first time a personality / blogger / content creator / popular figure was involved in a quote-unquote life-jeopardizing viral moment. One of the first names that come to mind is Hassan Campbell. Remember that? Some of y'all might remember, maybe some of y'all don't, but Hassan Campbell. Remember that? Everybody covered that, man. Everybody jumped on that shit, man. Boy was in some projects. They say somewhere he had no business, and he knew that. He knew that. But took his waterhead ass down there anyway. So next thing you know, he's interacting with some fool I think was in a window. Then it gets a little tense. Next thing you know, Hassan Campbell gets shot allegedly. Right? Well, I think he might have really gotten shot. But only thing you don't see is when he does allegedly get shot. You see him get into a car and he's going to get taken to a hospital. Next thing you know, he's recording himself from the hospital bed. And after a while, folk was debating on, well, actually, from the moment it happened, folk was debating on, would he really be so thirsty, even with all the clout he already has? As big as his platform already is, Would Hassan really be so sick in the damn head to set up his own shooting? Would he actually risk his own natural precious life for another viral hit while fools was debating on that? This fool ended up on Vlad TV. And it wasn't until the incident happened that Vlad brought him up on there. I don't know for sure if he had been on Vlad TV before that, but he definitely got on there after that shit. Vlad must have said, oh, this nigga risking his whole life for the views. I got to get him up here. I got to get his dumb ass up here. And that's exactly what happened. So why wouldn't one of these clowns that basically came up under him? Because a lot of these dudes you see doing all this stupid shit, they got that from Hassan. They came up under him. They trying to be like him. A lot of these fools who learn from him and his clout chasing ways follow in his steps to do the same damn thing. Hassan basically created a league of extraordinary idiots up on this bitch. I digress, though. I digress. For me, and this is just realist, it could never be that serious for me. I couldn't ever fathom concocting a plot for views where I'm actually facing a gun. That shit don't even sound right. What if the bullet hits something it ain't supposed to hit? Imagine this shit. What if the gun go off and it ain't supposed to go off? Nonetheless, I could believe it. I could believe it though. So the question was, would China Brent put a plan like that together for the sake of keeping his name booming in the algorithm? I wouldn't doubt it. I would not doubt it. All in all, though, even though I wouldn't doubt any of these fools putting on an act like that, on the flip side, I believe wholeheartedly that there's a decent number of characters that's waiting for them to slip up on the outside world. Because the fact remains, you can't just go around disrespecting motherfuckers for fun, kid. Just because you got an audience. I mean, I'm saying it's your choice. You got to live with that. You know what I'm saying? They got to live with that. They got to deal with that. And it's a shame to say, but maybe it takes for a situation like that to actually remind them of how real it can get out here. And I ain't wishing nothing. Pay attention to my words. Yeah, they say things like it's just YouTube. It's just the internet. Well, last time I checked, a decent number of incidents and a decent number of motherfuckers actually got hurt. And some even lost their life behind this internet shit. So why is YouTube any different? Act like you don't know if you don't want to. Act like you don't know if you want to. I would dread to become another statistic. Imagine your family mourning you because you lost your life due to some fuck shit on an app, bro. What? Me, I like living. Life ain't always A1 perfect, but damn, I like living. I appreciate breathing in and out. Like, and now I would not act a donkey on the net like folk ain't crazy as fuck out here. It's hot. It's hot too. It's hot at that. Like, we ain't supposed to test folk in this weather. But y'all go ahead, y'all enjoy, y'all resume. Y'all resume with it. It won't be the last time a sucker go viral for something of this magnitude. And it sure as shit wasn't the first. But like I said, you can't avoid this type of shit, man. You know, you could try, but it's like for all those that don't watch it, there's gonna be twice as more that are gonna watch it. There's always gonna be an audience for it. And it's always going to be turned into content. I don't know if y'all noticed, but I don't know if y'all figured it out or not, but the algorithm loves fuck shit. I'm not saying it necessarily declines the positive shit about YouTube, but you sure ain't got to look far for the Hassans, the Harlems, the Chinas. All you have to do is just get on the app. The algorithm going to take care of the rest. Guarantee you. Consequences and repercussions are an actual thing. Like, I know we don't have them too often, but there has been times when fools were slapped up in the streets, had folk pull up to the crib, wait for them to come out. Lives have been lost all behind the fuck shit up on it, bro. We all grown up, which means you can't tell another motherfucker how to operate their channel. You can't tell another motherfucker how to do their thing, how to present themselves, right? which is not what I'm trying to do. I do say this though, what would it take for at least some of these fools, some of these fuck shit partakers to at least understand that, yes, okay, I see not everybody playing. Yeah, okay, I get it. There are people that will indeed pull up if necessary. This is terrible to say. YouTube don't X me out for saying this. This is terrible to say, but I strongly feel like it would take a body being tossed in a damn lake somewhere. And when or if found, then you got the investigation. Like, picture this. Body gets found somewhere in a lake. Investigation starts. Next thing you know, the headlines in the paper and in the news reads, body found in lake connected to online internet beef. The app they call YouTube was the platform where two individuals went back and forth in a verbal war. Where one went too far, the man then traveled to the victim's home, knocked on the victim's door, then proceeded to beat, shoot, and stab the man all at the same damn time. Rolled the victim inside of his newly put down carpet, wrapped rope around the carpet, drug him to the car, then dumped the body in a lake. The online war had went on supposedly for over 5 months. The man arrested said he had had enough and that he told the victim to stop playing with me. I could visualize some shit like that. Next thing you know, the spotlight ended up getting put on the platform, like the whole YouTube, like the company, all of that, Google, all of that. Then next thing you know, they'll be announcing they're introducing a slew new strict set of rules and how they would be monitoring the app more closely. The whole app would end up changing. Folks would start leaving. Channels shut down. All because a goddamn body was found in a lake due to internet beef. I'm not going to front. I'm not going to front on the fact that some of this shit can bring entertainment to an extent, though. You know, it's like, because you can't escape it. Sometimes you find yourself just peeping in to see what's going on, and you can find yourself laughing at it, getting a kick out of some of the shit you see, right? But to an extent, I do think a limit of some sort is mandatory, fam. But as usual, that is my opinion. But what y'all think, though? And keep it real, too. I'm perfectly fine with folk disagreeing with my points or perspectives. All I ask is, just keep it respectful. Other than that, Realest one, VampHourzz, act accordingly.